woman accidentally falls from 10,000 meters high. Luckily, she lands on a strange cloud. Suddenly her heart starts racing. The noise around her becomes unbearable. Just then, a squirrel falls down too. The squirrel runs into an old wooden house. She follows it out of curiosity. Then she's shocked by what she sees. An old woman sitting in a rocking chair, with empty eyes, constantly knitting something in her hands, and looks at the mirror in front of her, as if realizing something. In horror, she runs out with the squirrel. It turns out the woman has lived on clouds since childhood. Every day she repeats the same routine of knitting scarves. Though the days are somewhat boring, they're quite peaceful, but a small accident disrupts her life. This day she's leisurely reading on the cloud, when she's suddenly interrupted by noise from the ground. She curiously peeks over the edge, but the noise gets louder and louder. She even gets a splitting headache from it. To escape the noise, she goes back inside, but just as she opens her eyes to continue knitting, she's startled by sounds from the kitchen. She takes a defensive stance, and discovers a squirrel stealing food. The woman hides behind her scarf and watches carefully. After making sure there's no danger, she tries tossing some cookies over. Unexpectedly, the squirrel jumps right onto her and starts playing. They become friends instantly, no longer caring about the noise outside. She follows the squirrel out the door, but when they stand on the cloud, the woman uncontrollably falls through it. She desperately wants to get back to her own cloud, but it's way too high. The woman closes her eyes and climbs to 10,000 meters high, but she doesn't notice the rotted wooden ladder. She loses her balance and falls. Luckily, she grabs onto the ladder. Then she picks up the pace and struggles to climb up. She collapses on the cloud. When she sits up, she looks back and sees her scarf-wrapped wooden house. Her face darkens. Looking at the broken wooden steps, she thinks for a moment. Then she takes a bundle of scarves from the house and trembles as she walks to the edge of the cloud. She doesn't hesitate. She throws the knitted scarves down below. Then without a second thought, she jumps down with the squirrel.